Hello everybody and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. You'll find that with this, as with many other things, the Camarilla's policies have more than their share of hypocrisy inherent in them. It comes hand in hand with using medieval power structures. What we are forbidden to do, the prince may do willingly. Some of these things can be done in the open, while others are kept secret as to not invite discord and discontent. Discord, my bad. I need to contact a man named Torque. He is an influential member of the movement and, like most of them, very suspicious of the Camarilla. Jax, stop scratching, baby. Jax. He scratches himself raw sometimes. I gotta keep an eye on that. Good boy. Come here, baby. That's why I'm sending you to extend my invitation. Come here, puppy boy. Okay. How do you know he'll talk to me? He won't. Not yet, anyway. You need to start further down the train, and with the right story to spin. From my limited sources adjacent to the movement, I have gathered your best chance to speak to Torque is to meet with his right-hand woman, Mia. She's a regular at the club called the Leech Pit. Oh, subtle. I think it would be best if you presented yourself as an anarch-hopeful, a fledgling looking for a place of belonging. Only after you talk to Torque directly should you mention my name and the meeting. Lying to them won't make them trust me. I don't think that's the right approach. Lying to them won't make them trust me. When they find out the truth, they won't be happy or eager to work with us. That might be true, but if you tell Mia outright that I sent you, she's likely to cut you off. She hates our sect, and it would be difficult to make her listen to reason. After tonight, I suggest that we do not speak of this again until you arrange the meeting. There are many who would jump at the chance to use this against us. With Kaiser, you have proven that you can get the job done, even if it requires additional legwork. I trust you to deal with this task as quickly and covertly as possible. Forgive me, but that's all the time I can spare tonight. What I'm asking of you is just part of a bigger whole. Trust me, it will all be worth it. I'll do my best. I know you will. Check with Gregory for the address of the Leech Pit. Have Mia introduce you to Torque. When she does, tell him I wish to meet. Let him pick the time and place, but let it be soon. If he proves too guarded, tell him I have something that will help him gather allies against Boss Callahan. That should pique his interest. Good luck, and obviously not a word about this to anyone else. Not even any new friends you might have made in recent nights. This stays between us. The way she says that final sentence suggests a not-so-veiled threat, but her warm smile belies that impression. You want her to keep trusting you. You wouldn't want to disappoint her. Gregory gives you the address. The club is in Brooklyn. Apparently it's some kind of heavy metal bar with dedicated concert space. Time to pay this Mia a visit. The place is teeming with people tonight. You arrive in the middle of a concert. The music is loud, almost deafening. It takes you a while to get used to it. You recognize a phrase or two of the lyrics and realize you know the song they're playing. A poster confirms your suspicion. It's a Life of Agony tribute band, and they're not half bad! Whoa! A group of a few dozen patrons are tightly packed together, and the smell of their sweat and youthful, excited blood overwhelms you momentarily. It's with some difficulty that you turn to the task at hand. You've heard your share about the anarchs and how they fit into Kindred politics, but only had the short encounter in Corona Park on which to base your actual opinion on the faction. That might have just been a horrible first impression, but you're keeping your guard up just in case. Mango with the crowd. Don't ask for her directly, that's too suspicious. You take a walk around the club. There are a few side rooms and a spacious bar area. You listen in on conversations taking place with voices hoarse from shouting. You walk in on a particularly sloppy threesome in the bathroom, and eventually hit the dance floor for a better feel of the place. As the concert comes to an end, you witness one of the guests, a feisty-looking girl, get into a scuffle with a much larger, drunk guy. She doesn't seem to appreciate him reaching around her waist, slapping him with an audible crack that sends him to the ground. Oh wait, I think I skipped something. Unconscious. Two bouncers break up the crowd and pick up the drunk to carry him outside, without so much as questioning the woman. You get an inkling that she might be who you were hoping to find. You approach her as she's about to leave. Yeah? Fuck you want? She's still seething and bares her teeth for just a moment, but you've learned what to look for in Kindred. You're pretty sure she's one of you. Uh, heard you're into anarchy. Heard this is the spot to meet hot chicks who hate the patriarchy. Anarchs, you could say. Seriously? That's the best line you come up with? She doesn't smile, but she doesn't hit you either. Follow me behind the bar. She leads you through the bar to a back door that leads to a side room. Indie metal band posters are plastered on every wall, some of them 20 or more years old, judging from the tour dates. An old sticky table, gross, and some rickety chairs are the only pieces of furniture there. Sit down. Sure. You take a seat as the woman leans against one of the walls. The name's Mia. I'm guessing your visit here isn't a happy coincidence? I don't know you, so you're either new in New York or kept an outstandingly low profile. Both sound suspect. So before we take these pleasantries further, answer me this. Who do you run with? I'm independent. Yeah, don't tell her about Sophie right out the gate, right?
Yeah, definitely not. Because as she said, she's probably going to cut you off there.
I don't bow to anyone. Isn't that adorable? Little fledgling. You don't get to be fresh in this game and not pick a side. Those Second Inquisition fucks are all too happy to pick on delusional kids like you. So are the cams. They offer you rewards aplenty for your servitude, but never actually deliver. Fortunately for you, there's another option. But before I get to that, let's get one thing out of the way. She leans in. If this is some clever ploy to oust me from my domain, or if you're just here to spy on me and the movement, I'll make sure that you don't enjoy undeath much longer. Got it? You can tell it's a purely rhetorical question. Right. Here's the pitch. The camera likes to think they're the vanilla option, what with Prince Bitch Panhard pretending they've always been in charge. But New York has never been a fully cammy city. They might have won the city in '99, but cams have had their asses handed to them many times over the years, and the movement has been here at least as long as they have. Hell, I moved to NYC before World War II, and that was a good while after I saw the Camarilla for what they are. A way to keep us all subservient and in line. The Ivory Tower will tell you they're the only safeguard for the traditions, and that's kind of the problem. Oh. Yeah, okay. There's only one tradition we in the movement feel we should be respected. The masquerade, obviously. Everything else? Ask the prince and she'll tell you it's the logical continuation of the masquerade. But really, it's just a way to keep the elders powerful and in control. She grimaces. But here's the thing. For all the talk of us bloodsuckers being solitary creatures, we need a community to keep up the masquerade. Community? Yes, but authority? Not so much. We need a council of peers to keep the assholes and the power-drunk fledglings in check, but not a feudal prince to tell you where to feed or who to hunt down when they step on her toes. She takes a brief break from her indignant rant. Sounds too good to be true. Mia bares her teeth in a predatory smile. You better believe it. Sure, we still have to struggle with the urges of our kind, but it's safer and more fair. We're as free as our condition permits, but unlike Autarchus, we don't stand alone. Unbounded, vampires remain outside the larger, either by ignorance or choice, usually considered anarchs by members of the Camarilla, though most unbound and nothing to do with the movement. Like Dracula!
Wow.
No, Dracula's probably a prince of his own area, if I had to guess.
Most likely.
Nominally, a guy by the name of Callahan has been overseeing the movement agenda in NYC for the past few decades. Most follow his lead. So what you're saying is I should talk to Callahan? No, I'm saying you should talk to somebody else. If you're concerned about being well received in the city, you might need to go through Callahan. But if you're serious about the anarch cause itself, he's not your guy. Callahan eats up fledglings like you and shits out self-preservation. His position as Baron is mighty shaky now, not least due to the fact he's backstabbed more than his share of allies. So there's princes and barons. At its most basic, a baron is a strong anarch who controls territory and wields authority over the... It's the same fucking thing! One of the most common types of barons is a lick who is a city neighborhood, or even just a building. The other common type is a baron who attempts to control an entire city on his own. A local strongman. He behaves suspiciously like the Camarilla prince, so it's all the same no matter what side you go to. It's just pick your favorite flavor of bullshit.
Seems like it, yeah.
So he's doing what any other old fart in a position of power would do. He's doubling down. Negotiations are out, intimidation's in, tightening ranks as a precaution against the Second Inquisition. She surprises you by hacking and spitting on the ground in disgust. If you spent some time with the Cams, that should sound very familiar to you. He's no better than Panhard and your cronies are at this point. No, you need to contact Torque, and when you know it, it's your lucky night, because I'm the lick to do it through. How is he different from Callahan? Motherfucker, you're really asking for it. Her anger flares up again. I'll pretend that was just a naive question and not a half-assed jab. Torque is a leader. A local baron who's overseeing a small domain, but doing a very good job of it. Callahan knows it, so he's giving him shit. Torque is taking it like a champ. Hi, Sassy. Good kitty. He's smart like that. For one of us rebels, he's got the patience of a saint. Makes you think back to how things used to be way back when, if the stories are to be believed. Anyway, you want to meet him? I'm going to require a show of goodwill first. What'd you have in mind? She flashes you a mischievous half-smile. I appreciate your readiness, but I don't have the details just now. Ask for me at the bar when you're able. I'll leave something for you and we'll take it from there. Now come on, I gotta go. She walks you out of the bar, and you go to your separate ways. Seems like there's nothing more to do than return here later and see if Mia really can help you contact Torque. Well, shit. Oh, god damn it! Somebody's watching me! And I got no privacy! We should probably take care of this, huh? Yeah.
Probably.
Visiting Sophie's Haven, the doorman stops you. You've been here enough time that he recognizes you and says there's a note left for you. You ask about the person who left the note, and the doorman gives a description that can only be Frank Dougherty, the reporter. Once you get the note, you step aside to read it. I have what you asked. Everything, all the details. This is crazier than you can imagine. Come to meet me at the Beautiful View. Oh man, Beautiful Joe has a motel? In Queens.
Beautiful view, not beautiful boo.
What? No, beautiful means beautiful view. I'm waiting for you. The note is unsigned. On impulse, you return to the street. You didn't have anything important to do with Sophie anyway. It'd be much better to come back with real information. Stepping in... Oh, hey, this place! You can't help but think of the name makes promises that the building fails to deliver. Outside, there's nothing but an ugly parking lot. Empty. Paint making and marking spaces almost completely worn away. Standing in the lobby, it feels like there's decades worth of stale cigarette smoke. You're happy to not be able to breathe anymore. The furniture looks like it was picked up from a yard sale in the 60s. Meow. There is something appropriate in the grubbiness of the surroundings. They fit the image you have of Frank perfectly. It's appropriate to find him in a place like this. You nod to the old woman manning the reception desk. She seems totally uninterested in what you're doing, her eyes glued to the small TV perched on the desk. A coffee show. Walking deeper in the motel, you find a lounge that might have aspired to the kind of lavish comfort in its glory days. Now it just feels sticky. Gross.
Gross.
Like you need to wash your clothes afterwards. Frank sits on a bar stool. There's no bartender, but Frank has a shot glass in his hand. He looks even sweatier than usual. Frank fidgets with the glass in hand as if he wanted to give a good impression, but couldn't suppress a nervous tick. Im, you're up?
Yep. I hope you're ready, because I got everything you asked for. Frank Dougherty is a professional after all. Yes, indeed. They try to smear my name, but I get the story.
You look nervous.
You'd be nervous too if you've been fucked over as many times as I have. Once they think you're a bad guy, they'll just start making up lies about you. Doesn't matter what's true and what isn't.
Frank seems to be in a strange mood. Hard to read. Maybe it's just the alcohol speaking, but something is off about him. Who's they, Frank?
Everyone. All those assholes who thought they were smarter than me. If you're a reporter, you make mistakes. Everyone does. You make enemies. You get facts wrong, so why was I singled out?
You're not sure you can get anything out of Frank. He's throwing himself a pity party and decided to invite you. You decide to try one more time. I'm your friend, Frank. I can help you. Frank sounds like he has plenty more bitterness inside him waiting to come out.
Let me tell you something else.
An ear-splitting sound fills the lounge, and a bright... we got fucking flashbanged. And a bright flash blinds you. For a second, an irrational panic grips your dead heart. Is this sunshine? Are you going to burn to death in a cheap motel in Queens? As your vision adjusts, something whizzes past you. There's a series of thunking sounds, something impacting the bar. Frank is lifting the shot glass, miraculously still in hand. A massive bloodstain spreads across his shirt. For a bizarre, incongruous moment, you stare at the thick thing sticking out of Frank's chest. It's a crossbow bolt. Oh, the vampire hunters. Another two lie shattered next to the bar, having missed their targets.
So the Second Inquisition was hiring him.
One missed you by a hair's breadth. Turning around, you see figures dressed in black tactical gear storming the room in eerie silence. Perhaps the flashbang dams your ears. They drop their tactical bows and lift up rifles. Who comes prepared with a crossbow? Frank slumps to the floor. A wooden crossbow bolt will paralyze a vampire, but stuck through a human heart, it kills. A scent of blood fills the air. Fuck that! You're facing a highly trained force of well-armed commandos. There's only one thing to do. Run away. You don't even stop to think. Just following your reflexes, you duck behind the bar and dive through the staff door as bullets hit the wall next to you. Fortunately, the blessings of the blood don't care whether you're being brave or a coward. The blood speeds up your body as you rush through the back room, past the empty beer kegs, and the half-full boxes of liquor bottles. Spotting a back door, you burst outside into the night. Running around the corner of the building, you see 4 SUVs parked by the motel's front door, all black with tinted windows. A man and a woman, middle-aged, dressed like detectives, stare at you in surprise as you run past them. One tries to yell something as you stumble to your car, wrench the door open, and turn the ignition. For a terrifying moment, you fumble with the keys, but then the car starts and you floor it, careening onto the highway. You run to Sophie's building past the surprised-looking doorman. Time is of the essence! You pound on the door of Sophie's apartment, more for the sake of your own nerves than because you think that's any help. After a few moments, Sophie herself opens the door and looks at you in surprise. She doesn't have her makeup on and her hair is disheveled. You've caught her on a night off. What happened?
Yeah, I was hoping we would actually get to see that.
Yeah, as you step into the apartment and follow Sophie in the room, you see the remains of a party. Empty glasses, a faint smell of blood in the air. You have no time to contemplate Sophie's social life, however. It was an ambush. They were prepared. You're compromised. Oh, fuck. For a moment, Sophie's facade cracks. She looks tired. Then she rallies herself. Sit down and stay calm. I'll check whether this apartment is still secure. You sit down, suddenly conscious of the vast gulf of experience between you and Sophie. She's managed to stay alive for a very long time and knows how to survive. Your only hope is that you'll survive long enough with her. For the next hour or so, you sit on Sophie's sofa, answering minute questions about Frank and the commandos who assaulted you. At intervals, she makes murmuring phone calls to mysterious contacts. After a longer while, Sophie lets you go. You should be safe, and more importantly, I should be safe too. I've taken measures to secure both of our havens, but keep your eyes open nonetheless. You leave Sophie's apartment wondering... You leave Sophie's apartment wondering whether you'd survive another ambush like this. Okay, so we're being hunted. That's fucking great. You arrive at the leech pit, finding it less rowdy than the last time. The bar is still packed, but the dance floor is empty tonight. Instead, the old crackling speakers are playing music in what would probably sound like noise even on high-end hardware. Mia is nowhere to be seen, but you do remember she requested you ask for her at the bar. You approach the bar as the bartender finishes pouring a beer for an older guy in a faded, fraying Iron Maiden t-shirt. Nice. She turns to you. What can I get you? Is Mia around? No, she's not in tonight. She looks up and down and a spark of recollection shines in her eye. Oh yeah, that's right. She takes a well-worn book from behind the counter. Some kind of...
young author. Vampire novel.
Oh. And flips through it. She produces a piece of paper from between the book's pages and passes it to you. She told me you'd be interested in reading this. You find a relatively quiet corner and take a look at the note. T wants to meet you. I'll arrange it, but you need to prove you're trustworthy. Look around the leech pit for a guy named Bruce. Buff dude. Tattoo sleeve on his right arm. I'm 90% sure he's somebody's retainer, sent here to spy on us by the cam. Get me the name of his master and write it on his card, then return to the bar. A man who serves a vampiric master. Kindred rarely go without at least a few of these mortals, both for convenience and protection. Like Gregory. It doesn't take you
Yeah.
long to locate this Bruce guy. He sits alone in the corner. Ah, fuck. 2 beer glasses already empty on his table. You take a moment and consider your approach. Well, looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.
Adios.